In this lesson, we'll look at additional functions of the FMS. In particular, PVOR, or pseudo-VOR, cross-track, and vertical navigation. But first, inverting a flight plan. It's often useful to fly a return leg on almost the same flight plan as the outgoing. To do this, from the flight plan page, select the menu page. Touch the menu key. But the option we want is on the second of the menu pages, so go to the next page. Highlight Invert Flight Plan, and a second time to Action. You can use this as a basis for your return flight plan. Then make additions and add SIDs, etc. We're flying on the FMS out of Skagen and have been cleared by ATC to go direct to Cali, so we used the Direct To key. And the nav page shows present position to Cali. ATC have now warned of bad weather ahead and cleared us to a parallel cross-track 3 miles to the right of the current track. So select the Maneuver line key. Select line key 3 right for Selected Cross-Track. The nav page is displayed again with a new line for Selected Cross-Track highlighted. Type in 30 and enter. The aircraft immediately turns 45 degrees to join the new track, and the track error now becomes 3.1 miles left of the new selected track, 0.1 originally, and the 3 miles we've added. If we wanted a cross-track to the left, we would use the plus-minus key to switch from R to L. X-track is displayed on the PFD to remind you that you have selected a cross-track course, and the desired track on the PFD moves left. That is, the aircraft is to the right of the desired track. As we move to the cross-track error decreases. Then the FMS maneuvers smoothly onto the cross-track. When you've passed the bad weather, you can cancel cross-track. Select the Maneuver line key. Then cancel cross-track. The FMS Annunciator cross-track light goes out. We start a 45-degree turn back to the original track, and the track error jumps because we're now 3.1 miles to the right of the original track. You can also select Direct To, the next waypoint, to cancel the cross-track. If a controller requests you to turn right to a heading 220 due to traffic, there are 2 ways to do this. You can use Heading Select mode on the Flight Guidance panel, or you can use FMS Heading mode. Touch the Heading line select key. The current heading flashes in the heading field, and you type in the new commanded heading. Type 220. FMS indicates that the shortest turn is to the right. You can change this to left by pressing the plus-minus key, but we'll accept right, so press Enter to accept the right turn. We start to turn right in FMS Heading Select mode, and this is emphasized at the top of the screen. You get an option to cancel the heading and return to the next waypoint, and No Intercept. No Intercept means that the selected heading will not intercept the current track. If you get an Intercept line select option indicating that you will cross the existing track, you have 2 choices. If you continue in Heading Select, you'll cross the original track. But if you select the Intercept line key, you will rejoin the track at the intercept. Notice you get an option to reselect Cross the Track. Another common maneuver is pseudo or PVOR, used to track a radial from any point. If ATC tells you, after Cali, continue on a course 240, select the maneuver key from the nav page. Touch Maneuver. Now select PVOR. The PVOR page displays the current to waypoint from the flight plan and subsequent waypoints. You can select another waypoint on the flight plan as a start point for the maneuver, or use the List function key to select other waypoints near the current waypoint. After selecting your starting position, you have three options. You can input a desired track and the FMS will calculate the inbound radial. You can directly enter a radial inbound to a pseudo VOR or a radial outbound from a pseudo VOR. But there is a problem. We are not yet at Kabi, and actioning a PVOR would take effect immediately. So we need to force an overfly at Kabi. To do this, firstly go to the flight plan page. Touch the function key. Now highlight the Kali line with line select key to left and select Overfly. Kali is now an overfly waypoint. Notice its star. We also now have the option to cancel the overfly if necessary. With Kali and overfly, we can go back to the nav page. To the maneuver page, touch maneuver, and to the PVOR page. Now we can select an outbound radial. Highlight the outbound line. Now type 220. 22. Notice that the desired track line is filled in and that you must accept the change. Touch the Accept line. The nav page calls the From waypoint PVOR. The To waypoint is called Vector, and the next waypoint is not defined because we're on a radial. You would normally use Direct To go back to the original track. Vertical navigation can be a useful aid to plan descents. So here's a brief overview. In this example, we're planning a descent on a flight into Gothenburg. Press the VNAV function. This shows the From, To and Next vertical waypoints. For our descent, we would like an FMS vertical glide path that will give an intercept at 3,000 feet on the center fix. So we're not interested in the outer marker. We need to change this waypoint. Select the To waypoint with the line select. We want the To waypoint to be Charlie India 2-1. That's in position 6. So type 6, please. We have an option to enter plus or minus nautical miles before the fix, but we don't want this, so press Enter. The highlight moves to the altitude field. We want 3,000 feet, so type it, followed by Enter. 0. We also want a target vertical speed of 1,300 feet per minute. This field is automatically highlighted. So type 1,300 and Enter. The FMS has now calculated the distance to top of descent. So 45 nautical miles ahead, at the top of descent, you can descend at 1,300 feet per minute to reach the center fix at 3,000 feet. With LNAV active as the lateral mode, you can now arm the vertical path by pressing the VNAV button on the Flight Guidance control panel. Touch the VNAV button. VNAV is armed. When cleared by ATC, normal procedure is to enter your clearance altitude and press Altitude Select. Note that this has priority over VNAV. So at 5,000 feet, the aircraft will level off and cancel any VNAV mode unless you change the pre-selected altitude. Within about 2 minutes of the top of descent, you get a vertical alert on the PFD and an FMS message text at the top of the multifunction nav display and the FMS itself. The FMS message is Flight Path Angle Change. When the pitch angle is correct, VNAV is captured automatically and VNAV path becomes the vertical mode. On the EADI you get a vertical pointer and scale, similar to an ILS glide path, but with the letter G replaced by V. You now have the option to cancel VNAV. Next, the V starts to move. There are no auto throttles, so you need to adjust power levers. Some pilots use the FMS to remotely tune the radios. Press the Tune function key. Tune. On the Tune page, you can select the radio, enter preset frequencies, enter a new active frequency, or select one of the presets. In the event of a power failure to the FMS, your actions will be different, depending on whether the failure lasted for up to or more than 7 minutes. Consult your checklist for details.